You ever feel so upset after buying a movie that you thought was going to be at least half decent, and it turns out to be the biggest turd? Well, that's what happened to me after I paid $1.99 for hunting season. Fuck, $2 down the drain. Welcome to Dumb Down, a show where we watch movies, summarize them, and hopefully we can understand them better. Today we dumb down hunting season. So this movie could have been okay if it had a different cast, a different crew, a different everything. So after the cringe-ass logo, we start off with a young man who's flailing his arms so much after he's running that it's almost comparable to Steven Seagal's running. But don't get attached to this young little fella because he gets killed in the first 30 seconds of the movie. No! The real story revolves around Ian, a young guy, a strong guy, who works for a company called J.J. Brooker's Firm. He's doing really well for himself, making money, making that bread, getting promotions and shit, and he's working for a semi-conscious, and I mean semi-conscious because he's mostly drunk, Tom Sizemore. If you don't remember Tom Sizemore, he was in Ticker with Steven Seagal. No one remembers that movie. I'm really convinced that Tom Sizemore, who they actually probably picked off from the side of the street and just said, hey man, just read these lines, we'll give you some booze. You want some crack too? We'll give you some crack too, it's okay. Anyway, Ian, he's been working for the company for some time, so they decide to give him a big promotion. They bring him to the office and they say, you know what, we have this hunting trip coming up. We would like you to come along with us. Now little does Ian know that he's agreeing to hunting people for sport. So after a long and idiotic conversation that was probably not even in the script.
How do you become a team? You bond. UCLA's great teams in the 80s, the 70s. Lou Alcindor. Yeah, they had Michael. You gotta have a go-to guy to win a championship, but they were a team.
Further into the film, we have our first kidnapping. Fuck, this movie's god-awful. And speaking of terrible, speaking of awful, watch the scene where...
Jules? Oh my God. Jules!
Why is she walking into this shot? Why don't we pan to see who's coming into the scene? Every shot in this movie is either out of focus, cropped, or it looks like caca. I'm convinced that the director of photography was probably Tom Sizemore himself. Yeah, they probably just gave him some cocaine and said, hey, look, hold the camera right here in this hand and, we'll let you hold the drink on your left hand. As people are going missing, you have two cops who are looking for these people.
Have you found those missing people yet?
No, Mom, but we will, don't worry.
That's good. I'm not worried.
And you guessed it, these people have either been killed or kidnapped by Sizemore and company. I mean, later on, we find out that Ian does agree to go hunting. So the fuckers are so nice that they're offering him some initiation pussy.
I got some bitches lined up.
Got some bitches lined up?
Hell yeah, I know you like bitches, right?
Yeah.
You ain't gay?
What kind of bitches?
You're not gay?
Fuck no, stop that, dude. Come on, I like bitches, man.
All right.
Are you sure about that?
After a boring-ass scene involving some fire bitches...
Oh, wow, look at the hose.
Ian goes on a hunting trip. And surprise, surprise, they're killing people. They weren't killing deer.
You didn't see that coming.
All of a sudden, Ian is cool with the fact that they just shot someone.
I liked it.
He liked it.
So you fast forward a year, and there's a new guy at the same position that Ian was before. He may not be as hardworking. He's kind of a pushover. So anyway, now Ian is making more money. And he's getting calls from the detective who was investigating the missing people. And we're dropped with the mother of all twists. Well, actually, it's not really mother of all twists. You just find out that Ian and the cop, they're brothers. None of this shit matters because Ian is now a crazy fucker himself and wants to recruit this new guy. The new guy says that he's not making enough money and he wishes he would be making more money. And at one point, he's saying he's making 83 grand a year. Shit, I'd be happy with 83 grand a year. I don't want no motherfucking promotion. Shit, I would just take fucking phone calls if I'm getting 83 grand a year. But anyway, he goes to his wife, so she starts arguing about the fact that, why are you going hunting?
These are my bosses. What was I supposed to say?
Try no.
It's easy for you to say. It's not your job on the line.
You did not just fucking say that.
Cat was being a butthead and he kicked me out of bed.
So the new guy goes hunting with them, but once he refuses to kill anyone, you guessed it, he gets murdered.
Hey, is everything all right in here?
Something is wrong with Edward.
Thanks for wasting our time by introducing a guy for no real reason than to just lengthen the running time of the movie.
God damn it!
Oh, and I forgot to mention, Eric Roberts is in the movie as well, and he was probably also drunk and just wanted more booze.
Yeah, let him do what he needs to do to provide for his wife and his future family.
I'm not pregnant. Who the fuck told you I was pregnant?
Nobody.
And it also looks like a lot of scenes with Eric Roberts were shot isolated because they don't match. I mean, then again, the plot of this movie doesn't even match. And so who gives a fuck? That's the least important of our problems.
Well, that was pointless.
And you got an introduction by Discount Ken Foree, who he lost his son at the beginning of the film. Remember the guy with the flailing arms, the guy who runs like Steven Seagal? Yeah, he's contemplating the murder of his son. He wants to know who did it.
It's been 2 fucking years. It's bullshit.
Discount Ken Foree goes out on revenge. Like, the cops aren't doing shit, so he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go find out where my son's murderers are. And he finds the ranch somehow? They don't explain how he finds it. But anyway, Tom Sizemore gets shot. Remember our little ambitious Ian? He gets killed with a rock.
What the rock is cooking.
Kill him!
And the movie ends. Fuck, this movie sucked ass. This movie could have been at least okay. Instead, we're bombarded with shots of people out of focus, out of frame. Like, who in God's name thought this was great? I mean, I can imagine the director.
Got it, great, good.
Anyway, this is one of the worst movies I have sat down and watched.
If the others say worst movie, it's them problem, not my problem.
This was Hunting Season Dumbed Down. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos on this channel. Until next time. See ya! Bye!
Get the fuck out of here now.